Investa, I'm Joanne and I'll be your instructor for today's video. So, balikan lang natin, no? Last week na-discuss ni JC yung basics ng fundamental analysis and I hope marami tayong natutunan dito. And now, it's our turn to discuss yung pinakahihintay na topic ng karamihan sa inyo, which is the technical analysis. So, sa video na ito, dadaanan natin yung basics ng technical analysis, how do we read charts properly, paano babasahin yung candlestick at yung stock trends. So, these are the universal concepts of technical analysis and dito rin manggagaling yung bubuuin natin na strategy pagdating sa trading and investing. So, simulan na natin. Yung technical analysis, ang ibig sabihin nito or by definition, kung makikita nyo, ito yung pag-aaral ng historical na galaw ng presyo at volume para mas maintindihan natin yung mga potential na galaw ng isang stock sa future. So, it's a methodology that makes buy and sell decisions. By understanding the past patterns in price and volume, mas magkakaroon tayo ng stronger estimate kung ano ba yung pwedeng mangyari sa mga stock na ini-invest or tinitrade natin. Now, yung goal mo bilang technical trader is to identify what the crowd is doing and take advantage of it at the right moment and use this tool to make money and, of course, to make profit, diba? So, kaya nga importante yung timing is everything. Kaya napakahalaga na alam mo kung kailan ka dapat bumili or magbenta sa stock market. Ngayon, maraming tatanong, gaano ba ka-importante ang matuto ng technical analysis or pagbasa ng chart? Una, importante kasi na maintindihan natin yung galaw o supply o demand ng isang stock dahil mas madali nating matansya kung anong side ba yung mas malakas, yung sellers ba o yung buyers ba. So, yung general rule lang naman dito is if malakas yung buyers or mas aggressive sila, mas madali nilang matutulak yung presyo dahil sila yung nag-dominate. Kumbaga, gutom na gutom sila yung mga buyers, then mas mapapush forward yung stock. While yung sellers naman, kung sila yung mas malakas, paunahang magbenta na yan. Tapos kapag hindi naman nasalo ng buyers, mas madali na maipapababa yung presyo. And then, isa pa sa mga importanteng rason bakit mahalaga ang technical analysis at makakome up tayo ng tamang strategy or setup based on our trading profile and horizon, it would help us to develop a higher rate of profit as a trader, syempre. Kumbaga, tataas yung profitability at accuracy mo sa trades. And when you master the trends of charts, dito makakaiwas tayo kung yung stock na pangit yung trend or downtrend, hindi na natin siya i-trade or i-invest. And then, kung maganda naman yung performance ng stock at uptrend naman siya, then dun tayo pwedeng mas maging aggressive. Sa chart na to, ito yung galaw ng Philippine Stock Exchange Index natin or tinatawag na PSEI. Dito mababasa yung galaw ng merkado or main index ng Pilipinas. Ginagamit ito na basehan ng retail investors pati na rin institutional investors bilang benchmark nila kung ano ba yung nangyayari sa ekonomiya ng bansa at status ng mga main companies sa Pilipinas. So, just to give you an update, no, as of August 2020, we have a total of 273 companies na listed na sa Philippine Stock Exchange. Ngayon, ano ba yung makikita sa chart? Una-una nating babasahin dyan, ito yung parang mga candle, yung mga nakikita nyo na yan na green and red. Ito yung tinatawag nating price movements ng isang stock. And then on the lower part of the chart, makikita nyo rin itong mga bars na ito, yung green and red din. Ito yung tinatawag naman natin na volume. So, hindi lang price action ang tinitingnan natin. Kino-consider din natin kung ano or kung gaano kadami yung shares na tinitrade sa araw na yon. Hindi lang natin gustong malaman yung presyo ng stock. Kumbaga, kung talagang malakas ang isang stock, dapat may volume din na dumadaan sa araw na yun. Yun yung importansya ng volume sa chart. Okay, so let's move on. We now discuss how to read candlesticks. Although madalas natin naririnig sa mga traders, no, mga uptrend, downtrend, moving averages, MACD, iba't ibang indicators. Pero as a beginner, ano ba yung dapat mong matutunan? Ano ba yung basic na dapat mong malaman pag binubuksan mo na yung chart? So, syempre, ito yung mga red or green na nakikita nyo. Ito yung tinatawag natin na candlestick. Ang ibig sabihin ng mga kandila na yan, ito yung mga nagre-represent kung ano yung presyo ng market or yung stock na pinili natin. And then, merong 4 parts ang candle kapag binabasa mo ito, which is the open, close, high, and low. Ano ba yung mga ibig sabihin yan? So, first, let's discuss about the open. In layman's term, ito yung presyo na nagbukas ang isang stock sa stock market. And then, close naman kung ano yung price na nagsara yung isang stock. High naman, tinatawag natin kapag ito yung highest peak na na-reach ng presyo na inabot ng stock during the day of trading. And then lastly, low tinatawag kapag ito yung lowest price na na-hit ng stock sa araw na yon. Ngayon, tingnan natin ng buo ang isang candlestick and then tingnan natin paano ba natin siya i-interpret. So, ayan. May dalawang klase nito which is ito nga, yung red and green candlestick. Ganyan yung mga itsura nila sa chart. So, kapag green, ibig sabihin yan, nung nagbukas ang market, sa mababang presyo siya nagsimula. And then, nung nagsara na yung merkado, sa mas mataas na opening price naman siya, nagsara. Ngayon, ano naman ibig sabihin ng mga linya na to? Yung mga nakikita nyo na yan. Tawag natin dyan wick ng kandila. Itong nasa ibabang wick na to, ito yung lowest price na inabot ng presyo, while this upper wick, siya yung highest price naman na inabot during the day ng trading. Then, ganun din sa red. Kapag red naman yung kandila, nag-open yung siya sa mataas na price, pero nung nagsara na yung market, nag-close yung price sa mas mababang presyo. Tapos, ganun din interpretation natin when it comes to its wick. May times na makikita niyo na may kandila, na may wick, and then meron din namang wala. So, depende yan sa performance ng stock during the day. Ngayon, tingnan natin, no? Gawa tayo ng mga iba't ibang samples para makita kung paano ba nabubuo yung isang candlestick. Kasi, di ba, sa isang araw, meron kang ilang oras na nagtitrade. Usually, yung typical chart, kada kandila, kapag day chart or daily time frame yung gamit mo, kada kandila, it represents a day movement of the stock. So, within that one day, maraming minutes ang dumadaloy. So, kunyari, ganito, intraday yan, isang araw mo, ganyan yung galawan. Paano natin siya gagawing candle? So, una yung first step natin, identify yung high and low. Gamit tong line chart na to, kunin mo muna yung pinaka-extreme na ilalim at tuktok ng mga linya na to. Ngayon, kapag na-identify na natin yung high and low, kunin naman natin yung extreme points ng time frame. So, saan ba nagsimula at nagtapos or open and close yung mga linya na yan. So, ganyan. Halimbawa, na-identify na natin open sa simula and then yung close sa dulo. Paano naman natin gagawing kandila na to? Ito yung mga data points na diniscuss natin kanina. Paano siya matatransfer into a candlestick. Ngayon, i-drawing mo muna yung high to low, guhitan natin. Ngayon, yan na, diba? Na-drawing mo na yung high. And then, ito naman yung low. Ito yung total range na isang candle during the day. Ito yung buong range na tinrade niya sa araw na to. Ngayon, isama naman natin yung open and close. So, ayan. Tinrack na natin, no? Ito, nakita niyo naman, tinrace lang natin yung movement ng opening price at saka ng closing price. So, ayan, nakuha na natin yung range and then na-plot na natin yung open and close. Ngayon, since nag-open siya sa baba and then nag-close siya sa mas mataas na presyo, at the end of the day, ibig sabihin yan, it will be a green candlestick, meaning bullish. Ibig sabihin, positive yung outlook ng candle na yon. Dito nabubuo yung green body ng candle, okay? Ngayon, opposite scenario naman. Paano tayo bubuo ng kandila na red? So, ulitin lang natin, no? Nag-open sa taas galing yung presyo, let's say, 2 pesos yan. Then, sumayaw ng konti. So, halimbawa, nag-open siya ng 2 and then nag-close siya ng 1.7. Ganun din, iti-trace mo lang. Trace mo lang ulit yung close and then yung open ng price. Yan yung magiging body ng range ng candle. And then, kunin mo rin yung lowest wick niya. Iti-trace mo lang. And then, yung highest niya. Ayan, so, ito yung high, ito yung tawag natin na high and low wicks. Ayan, o. So, pagka-trace na natin, di ba? Yan na yung kabuuan ng kandila. So, Kaya siya red or pulado kasi nag-open yung price sa higher price niya compared when it closes down to its lower price. Kaya ito naging red candle. Okay, so last topic for the day, which is stock trends. So, yung first concept na ituturo ko sa inyo, sobrang importante malaman no, na kahit hindi mo alam masyado basahin yung bawat kandila or yung hindi ka masyadong maalam sa indicators na ginagamit sa chart, dapat malaman mo rin yung importansya ng pagbasa ng trends. Kasi I can assure you, pwedeng-pwede ka pa rin kumita dito basta alam mo lang yung, or maintindihan mo lang yung pagbasa ng trend lines ng isang chart. Now, there are 3 types of trends. Ito yung tinatawag natin na uptrend, downtrend, at sideways. So, the first one is the uptrend. This is the design or pattern that we always want to see in the charts. Ito yung mga stocks na gusto nating masabayan or bilhin to have gains, of course, in the market. So basically, our jobs as traders, especially sa PSE, our only way to make money is to buy low and sell high. That's why we need to look at stocks that are going up, just like the examples that I'm showing here. Yan, yung mga DNL or MAC. So makikita nyo naman na uptrend yung pattern niya. Now, kung mayroong uptrend, syempre, mawawala ba yung downtrend? Ito yung mga stocks na bumubuo ng pattern na pababa, katulad ditong mga examples sa charts natin, no? Like yung MEG, during November 2011 up to 2012, pababa yung pattern niya. And then, same as CHP, no? Sa ngayon, hindi pa imposible sa PSE to make money in downtrending stocks kasi hindi pa fully allowed yung shorting sa Pilipinas. So, sa mga hindi nakakaalam, shorting means you make money when the prices go down. So, in downtrend, it's very hard to pinpoint at which direction magbabounce yung price or when it will go up. Kaya, I highly suggest na we should always focus on uptrending stocks muna. Lastly, kung merong uptrend at downtrend, of course, meron ding sideways. Ito yung mga stocks na walang masyadong galaw sa merkado or kung meron man, very minimal lang yung paggalaw niya at naka-steady lang siya dun sa linyahan niya. But let me tell you even inside sideways trend, pwedeng pagkakitaan yan. As long as you know how to spot the support or saan siya magbabounce back to its highest peak or its range bound, pwede ka pa rin kumita sa stock market. So, ito yung mga example ng sideways, like MPI, PXP, mako-consider mo rin na sideways yan kasi since July up to August, no, ganito lang kaliit yung range bound na ginawa ng candles niya or ng prices niya for that particular year. So, that's it. Tapos na tayo sa pag-aaral ng basics ng technical analysis like yung how to read charts, how to read candlestick, and then yung stock trends, and I hope we add value to your learnings. As a gentle reminder, yung framework ng technical analysis is just like any other craft. So, dapat talaga may disiplina kayo, like, regardless kung long-term investor ka, active trader, fundamentalist, or whatever you may call yourself, at the end of the day, iba't ibang style pa rin naman tayo. And iisang framework pa rin ang technical analysis. So, para masulit natin to, disiplina at dedikasyon yung kailangan natin para maging consistent tayo sa pag-aaral at pag-apply ng mga nalaman natin sa technical analysis learning.
Alright, so that's it for the first part of our technical analysis lesson from Joanne. And of course, hindi pa tayo tapos dahil tuturuan pa tayo ni Paolo Cruz further on the lesson. So, bago ang lahat, mag-pop quiz muna tayo, no? Para mas maintindihan natin and makita natin kung talagang natututo tayo from the lesson. So, all you have to do is answer these 5 questions and you can answer in your head or you can comment your answers below. So, magsimula na tayo. So, for the first part, you have to visualize what kind of candle ang kakalabasan dito sa kind of price action na ipapakita ko sa inyo. So, for the first one, nag-open siya at 5 pesos and then nag-close siya at 6 pesos. And this is the volatility for the day or for the time period. So, ito yung choices natin, no? May 3 green candle, may 1 red candle. So, try to visualize, no? Based on yung mga natutunan natin, ano nga bang klaseng candle yung kalalabasan dito. So, I'll give you guys 5 seconds to try to answer these. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright! So the answer is B, and if nakuha nyo yung sagot na yun, congratulations because I know that you are learning from this lesson. So makikita natin na nandito yung low and nandito yung high. So ganun kalaki yung wick niya. And of course, nag-close siya above the opening price. So green candle yung kinalabasan niya. For the second one, ito naman. So nag-open siya at 5 pesos and close at 4.9. So these are the options for that kind of price action. So just to visualize, no? Try to answer this in 5 seconds, no? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the answer is D. So kung tama yung sagot nyo, again, congratulations, no? So ito yung open and nag-close siya below the opening price. So obviously, red candle siya. And dahil naging volatile siya within that time period, meron tayong wick dito. Alright, so for the third one, nag-open siya and nag-close at 5 pesos. And at the same time, meron siyang volatility within the given time period. So ito yung choices natin. So try to visualize and try to imagine anong klaseng candle or candlestick yung kalalabasan dito. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so if your answer is A, you are correct. Of course, nag-open and nag-close siya at the same price at 5 pesos. So, ganito yung makikita nyo. And of course, dahil may volatility, meron tayong makikitang wick, candle wick. For the fourth one, of course, tatanggalin natin yung charts para mas ma-visualize nyo with the numbers itself. If price opened at 10 pesos with a high of 12 pesos, a low of 10 pesos, and closed at 10.5, what would the candle look like? So these are your options. Alright. So try to imagine, nag-open siya at 10, high niya is 12, low is 10, and nag-close siya at 10.5. Try to answer this in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, so if your answer is D, you are correct. And I'm sure marami sa inyong nakatama dito. If hindi, okay lang. Try to look back at the lesson. Alright, so just to explain, no, nag-open siya at 10. The high is 12, kaya meron tayong volatility or merong wick. Nag-close siya at 10.5, slightly above 10. And the low is also 10. So for the last one, ito, madali lang to. So you have to spot the 3 types of trends, which are uptrend, downtrend, and sideways trend within this chart. So try to imagine lang kung nasaan yung uptrend. So in 3, 2, 1, ayun. So nandun yung uptrend natin. So check naman natin kung meron nga bang downtrend dito sa chart na pinapakita natin. So try to see and spot the trend, the downtrend in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so may makikita tayong dalawang downtrend. And of course, meron din tayong sideways trend. And here, wala tayong ma-earn masyado and wala rin tayong malulose, no? So try to spot the sideways trend in 3, 2, 1. There you go. So that's it for our pop quiz. I hope naka-perfect kayo, and if hindi, you can always look back at this lesson. So that's it. Let's move on to our lesson.
Alright, what's up everyone? Paolo here, or Toma. I'm going to be continuing the lesson from here onwards. Right, so first of all, before I continue, right, I'd like to give a huge shout out and malaking pasasalamat kay Joanne. So comment down below if you're watching this live. Even if you're not, thank you Ma'am Joanne for teaching us yung foundation talaga. What is technical analysis, what are candlesticks, and ano yung mga trends na meron sa marketplace. So thank you Joanne. So now I'm going to be continuing with, I believe this is class 3, lesson 1. Right, basic technical analysis. And the next topic I'm going to be teaching you guys is really, ito lang this is all I can say about support and resistance. Right, usually when we learn something, any craft, right, yung nangyayari minsan is, lalo na if, okay, any craft, right, if we learn something na, say, newbie pa lang tayo, whatever it is, as the first thing we learn, sometimes we tend to take it for granted. Right, sometimes we might think na, ito yung pinakauna ko natutunan, ito siguro yung pinaka-basic. Right, but in reality, pagdating sa trading, yung support and resistance, ito talaga yung pinaka-roots mo. Ito na yung foundation na lahat. Kasi this is where we talk about price structure, price action. Diba? And no matter how advanced you get, diba, when you learn all the indicators, your RSIs, MACDs, when you learn yung mga advanced, mga Fibonacci, yung mga multiple bullish divergence reversals, yung mga Elliott wave, yung mga ganyan-ganyan na strategies, at the end of the day, gagamitin at babalik ka pa rin sa concept ng support and resistance, diba? So guys, kita nyo, di na naka-headset, no? Actually, naka-order na ako ng bagong mic, so di siya kita, pero naka-setup dito. Hopefully, maganda yung quality ng audio. And yung camera ko, hindi ba ko na yung angle, para iba naman, right? And just to set expectation, I really want to, sana okay lang sa inyo, this is going to be 1 hour na lesson siguro. And alam niyo naman, if I talk continuously and mabilis ako magsalita, there are times na sumasait yung throat ko, tsaka napipiyok ako, diba? So, there may be times during the presentation, after I give my point, I might drink a little water para lang di ako pumiyok masyado. And so, let's get to it. Support and resistance. And I don't want to give support and resistance. I want to give you mga definitions, whatever. But support and resistance is basically, ito na yung value zone ng buyers and sellers. So, before I'm gonna give a lot of examples, but I want to give a story first that can maybe make this a bit more easier to understand for the newbies out there. So, imagine mo lang, di ba? Nung class 1, lesson 2, market, foundation and market mechanics, tinuro ko, right? Nung sinabi ko, what is the stock market? I related it to yung palengke, yung marketplace. Right? Why? Because yung palengke, it's driven by demand and supply. Same thing with the market. The stock market, any financial market for that matter, is driven by demand and supply, by buyers and sellers. Because what makes up the stock market? The buyers and sellers. What makes up yung palengke? The buyers and sellers. So I wanted to imagine, nagbibenta ka ng apple. Let's say you're selling your apple for 5 pesos. Diba? Yung apple mo, napakasarap, very juicy, diba? Malaki, right? And then, malinis. And then, sa sobrang ganda ng binibenta mong apple, sobrang high quality, dami bumibili, dami buyers. So what do you do as a seller? Nauubos yung supply mo. Dami bumibili. Akitin mo yung presyo. Magiging 6 pesos. And dami bumibili. Grabe yung demand. Magiging 7, 8, 9 pesos. Sobrang ganda talaga. Sarap na apple. Dami pa rin bumibili. 10 pesos binibenta mo. So, umakyat yung presyo. Bakit? Because ang laki ng demand, the onti ang supply. Mas maraming buyers, mas malaki yung power ng buyers kaysa yung power ng sellers. Kasi nauubos yung supply. Right? But, now I want you to imagine, right? Let's say yung apple na binibenta mo, biglang naging bulok, maliit, hindi siya juicy, hindi siya crunchy, right? What happens? You sell at 10 pesos, no one buys it. What do you do? Right? Sale. Diba? So, from 10 pesos, gagawin mo 9 pesos. No one's buying it pa rin. Onti pa lang. So, baba mo yung presyo, 8 pesos, 7 pesos, 6 pesos. No one's buying. Right? Bakit ganun? So, baba yung presyo. Why? Because there's more supply. The power of the seller mas malakas kaysa yung power of the buyer, which is demand. So, if there's more demand, so if malaki yung demand, prices go up. If malaki yung selling pressure and konti lang yung demand, prices what? They go down. And that's the entire concept of support and resistance. So if we focus on the chart, and as you can see here, yung mga green areas sa baba, this is what you call the support area. Bakit? Because this is where dumadami yung demand. Dito nagkakaroon ng buying ng demand from the buyers. Because as you can see, the prices, they have a hard time going below yung area na to. Right? Bakit? Kasi sinusupport nga siya ng buyers. And then, bakit may mga bumibili doon? Well, pwede. They may deem that area as cheap, right? And then, if we go sa taas, if we look at this area, yung mga may red na boxes, this is what we call resistance. This is where prices have a hard time going higher. Bakit? Kasi dumadami na yung sellers at umuunti na yung buyers. And without enough buying power, what will happen to prices? Similar to the apple, the price of the stock, in this case, DMC, will go down. Right? And it happened twice, di ba? And to give an even better analogy para mas ma-visualize nyo kung ano yung support and resistance. Right? Imagine nyo yung support, yung floor. Yung floor, di mo basta-basta masisira yan unless may jackhammer ka or something, right? As you can see here, hindi basta-basta makaba yung presyo. While yung resistance, you can say that's the ceiling. Yung ceiling, alas sobrang tipis yan, di mo basta-basta mabubutas yan. Same thing here, right? It takes a lot of demand to push prices higher, but more likely than not, sa resistance, pwede doon mauntog yung stock, as you can see here. So, di ba, yung proverbial saying is, in the stock market, you want to buy low, sell high. In this case, you want to buy on support, you want to sell at resistance. Let me give you more examples. Here's a weekly chart of Metrobank. Same thing, as you can see here at around 59.20 pesos, 59.20 to 59.50, right? Metrobank is finding support at these levels. Prices have a hard time going below those levels because dumadami in demand, dumadami buyers. While here sa taas, sa ceiling or sa resistance, as you can see here, the red areas na to, yung resistance, prices have a hard time going above that 96.40 resistance. Nauntog siya, tapos bumabagsak. More examples, right? So, guys, I just want to know, throughout the presentation, I'm going to be giving more examples, less textbook definitions. Bakit? Because at the end of the day, right, kahit memorize mo yung theory, but if you don't know how to spot it, so dapat ano pa lang as we move on sa TA lessons, unang tingin pa lang, alam mo na, ito yung support, ito yung resistance. Ito yung ganyan, ito yung ganito. Dapat unang tingin pa lang, first 5 seconds, boom, may visual representation ka na kung ano pwedeng strategy yung i-apply. Kaya sobrang daming examples. Right, here we have FLI, same thing applies. Sa baba, sa green areas, we can see prices have a hard time going below this area. We can count this as support. Good areas to buy. While itong 230, as you can see, tatlong beses na nauntog. Nauntog dito, bumagsak. Nauntog dito, bumagsak. Nauntog dito, bumagsak. So again, resistance, mas marami kasing sellers dyan. So now, as you can see guys, yung pinakita ko examples, puro ano yung manood nyo? Puro sideways trends. Right? Puro consolidating lang. So the question now is, does the concept of support and resistance only apply to sideways trends? But the answer is no. Right? So now the question is, how do you chart yung resistance in a stock like this? For example, we have Greenergy. Right? Si Green, back in 2019, made a super move. Right? From, ito, nasuspend siya dito, nag-resume trading, and then from, yan, mga 160, nag-350, 100, almost, yeah, I think around 100% gain from that level. So ano masasabi natin dito? How will we know when to sell kapag wala tayong nakikitang resistance? So ano pwede natin gawin? What we can do actually is we can look at bigger time frames, yung weekly or monthly chart or 3 months, but I personally just use weekly and monthly. So you can find multi-year resistances. Diba? So what you do is, di mo alam sa yung resistance, di mo alam sa kabibenta, punta ka sa bigger picture time frame. And as you can see here, diba, ano meron dito? Ito yan diba? Ito yun. Right? This is this one, right? So ito yan. So as you can see, if you actually zoom out and look at the bigger picture time frame, you can see na nasa resistance na pala si Green at this point and good area na to sell. Right? Kasi yung high na yun, yung 350, yun din yung resistance ng 2008 and 2009. Yeah, it was a decade resistance. And what I want you guys to remember is the longer term the resistance, diba? Ito, 10-year resistance, mas significant siya. Kapag multi-year level resistance, mas mahirap siya basagin. Diba? So as you can see here, after that, yun, bumagsak na siya from 350, nag-130 ulit. Here's another example. We have Ditto. Diba? So as you can see here, diba? As yung, common saying sa technical analysis, right? The longer the base, the higher in space, diba? So the longer the consolidation, the bigger the move on the upside. I'll discuss more on that later. So, diba, we have a huge move here, 100% in a short period of time, as I showed in a previous lesson. But now, how will you know where to sell? Wala kang naman nakikita ang resistance. Hindi naman to at. So, what you can do is, again, look at a longer term time frame. And now, we're looking at yung monthly chart. Now, as you can see, in 2010, almost a decade resistance din, a decade-long resistance. Resistance niya is sa may 8 pesos. Diba? And as you can see here, good area na yun to sell. Nag-overshoot siya na onte, diba? Umabot ng 850. But after that, diba, nag-fade, tapos umabot pa kapi. So that was a good area to sell. And guys, pro tip, diba, yung mga, as you can see, diba, so structural resistance, yan, multi-resistance, good area to sell. Pero saan din siya banda? It's actually at 8 pesos. So guys, what I want you guys to know is there are also psych level resistances. Meaning, yung mga whole number, yung mga piso. Kaya pag naririnig nyo, ayan, mga basag na yung piso, malakas yan, or mga basag na yung 10 pesos. Because, psych levels yun, kumbaga. Kasi again, psychology plays a huge role when you trade. So, kaya nga may whole class on trading psychology sa class 7 But here, I just want you guys to remember, very significant levels of resistance and support yung whole numbers. Yung piso, 2 pesos, 3 pesos, 4 pesos. In this point, 8 pesos. Diba? We can see na nabasag yung 8 pesos, but eventually nag-fade and good area pa rin to sell. Yun bakit? Kasi psych level resistance. Very, strong, maaari na magka-strong level of selling doon. Here's another example. This is a personal trade naman and something na recent, it's a recent trade, right? Nickel. So as you can see here, nag-bottom siya. After coming from a downtrend, we have a bottom placed here at around 150 area that went up 134%. Diba? In a very challenging market. So, ba't siya umangat? Well, it's mostly because of yung commodity prices globally are really going up. So, nag-benefit si nickel doon. And personally, I was also able to trade this. I was able to buy it here to 150. Dito sa kandila na to, 150. Pero hindi ko nasakyan yung bull move. Nabenta ko siya for a quick 30 to 40% gain dito sa may 180 to 2 pesos. So, okay naman. I followed my plan. I wasn't expecting it to be a super move like this. But the real question is, paano ko siya nabili dun sa ilalim? Meron ba akong magic na in-apply? Wala naman. Sa akin talagang bottom, nasala ko yung pinaka-bottom. Right? Meron ba akong magic indicator nilabas? Meron ba akong magic system na gumagamit ako ng 5 indicator, blah, blah, blah? Hindi. I actually just did this. Diba? So, kung yung multi-year level resistance is very significant din yung mga multi-year level support or multi-year support levels rather. As you can see here, nung nakita ko si nickel, nagko-consolidate. Sabi ko, baka pwede mag-bottom. Nag-zoom out pa ako sa monthly. Sabi ko, all-time low na pala to. And guys, I don't recommend na we buy all-time lows. Of course, we want to, di ba, sabi nga ni Joan, we want to avoid downtrending stocks because it's much harder to make money. Kaya nga hindi ko na-expect na sobrang laki ng move ni nickel. Right? Kaya itong quickie bounce lang yung pinlay ko. So, bakit ko kinuha? Well, bakit ko pa sinalo in the first place? Well, mahirap yung market and nakita ko reversals yung team, mas advanced na. But so I had to adapt lang, right? But this is not something you can trade immediately kung beginner ka pa lang. We want to stay in uptrending stocks. Pero may mga setups din dito which we'll be teaching in future lessons. So nakita ko lang multi-year level support kaya ako bumili. So very significant kasi yung level na yun. Ngayon, I was able to take advantage of this quick upswing here. And then guys, as I mentioned a while ago, diba, kapag downtrending stock kasi, prone to mababa yung accuracy, mababa yung hit rate. So, prone to failure siya. Diba? Naswerte lang ako dun kay nickel. But as you can see here, IMI. Diba? So, guys, hindi kailangan all-time low, no? Para multi-year level support. Pwede rin yung mga ganito sa mga previous base. As you can see here, there's a 2017 base. At support dati. And then yan, nag-downtrend. Found support there for a while. But what happened? Nag-bounce mga 10%, ganun, 5, 8%. Pero nag-fade ka agad. And then, nung umabot na siya sa previous base, dito siya nag-bounce. And then dun, at this level pa, right, after going down from 20 all the way to 8, nag-bounce siya back to 14, 85% bounce. And then yun. So this is what, yung importance of looking out at a bigger picture so you can find more significant levels of support and resistance. Kasi kung big picture support or big picture resistance or longer term support and longer term resistance, mas significant yung levels na yun. Compared if you look sa daily, mas lalo na compared if you look sa hourly, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, or lalo na yung 1 minute, diba? Right, so now, again, pinakita ko pa lang, does it only apply to sideways trends, But I want to say, the answer is no. Diba? I showed a few examples, medyo pa horizontal lang, but we have things called trend lines as well. Ito na yung mga mas diagonal na mga linya. So guys, I want to focus first on on yung mga support trend lines. So yung mga uptrending support uptrending trend lines. Uptrend trend lines. Well, anyway, kita nyo naman. So what's the rule of thumb when you focus on yung mga ganitong trend lines na pa-uptrend? Right? Or when you trade using trend lines, the rule of thumb is it's only a legit trend line if it already hit that trend line at least twice. Nagka 2 points na. Parang as you can see here, ito yung legit entry dito. Right? So, if you plot it from here to here, tas in-extend mo, even if we imagine na this level, wala pa, right? Visualize mo lang, dito, then boom, in-extend mo lang, wala pa to, inantay mo lang na bumagsak. Right? Ito yung legit entry, hindi ito. Bakit? Kasi, wala naman sense yan Pinlat mo dito, tas in-extend mo lang doon. Ibig sabihin ba na legit trend line na to? Hindi. Bakit? Kasi subjective pa lang yun. Pero nung in-extend mo, objective na. Bakit? Kasi, di mo na alam what's gonna happen next, but as you can see, it found support at that level. So you want that your trend line to at least have 2 points. So this is the first point, this is the second point, ito yung legit point na yung third. And that's an area where you can buy at support. Here's another support by example. Right? We have here the first point here, second point. So the third point would be the legit entry. So if we extend it out from here, imagine nyo ulit, wala pa tong level na to. Parang magic nga Pag in-extend nyo lang, inantay nyo lang tumama sa trend line natin, tumama, sakto doon nag-bounce, right? And then yun, umakyat from 12, nag-20 pa, ganun. So, 60, 70% gain from that level. And here we have SMPH again, ulit. again, first point, second point, tapos ito na yung mga legit areas of entry. Ito yung uptrend line natin. Yun, uptrend line. And then same thing here, we have the first point here, the second point here, and then the third and the fourth point. Yan yung, or the third and fourth retest of this trend line. Yun na yung mga legit na buy points natin. Right, same thing applies for yung mga downtrend lines naman. So, yun lang. Again, it will be a legit downtrend line, or basta kapag yung mga trend lines, kapag nagka at least 2 points na siya, and then yung next, yun na yung succeeding na parang, okay, legit nga to. As you can see here, we have 1, 2, and ayan, nakita na, ito nga, legit resistance. Ito nga, di na umabot pero as you can see, this trend line has been held from May of 2017 to, again, halos 1 year na, May 2018, sumagat pa. Nauntog na naman sa trend line na yan. So again, downtrend line. Same thing here, SSI. First point, second point, third point, di pa rin umabot. So legit downtrend line. Same thing here, di pa rin na break. Untog pa rin. So yun, very significant downtrend line. But guys, when we talk about yung mga downtrend lines, I mean, mas significant sa akin yung uptrend lines, di ba? Kasi yun yung areas of support where we can buy. Basic naman, kapag downtrend, we can try to avoid it. Bakit? Kasi ang hirap kumita ang pera. Tingnan mo to. Again, I just want to emphasize, especially kung newbie ka pa lang, let's try to focus on yung mga uptrending stocks. Right? And as you can see here, yung maxes, paano mo in as 5 years lang from 68 pesos or 64, 65, umabot siya na 4.75 or below 5 pesos. Napakalaking decline yan. And of course, meron pa rin trading opportunities dito. For example, from 2016 to 2017, nasa uptrend siya. Ito yung mga trade natin. Di ba, pass tayo sa mga ganito na bumabagsak. Dito tayo sa mga ganitong cycles. Yung mga ganito na bumabagsak, pass tayo dyan. Ito, nagka-mini uptrend for a few months. Yan yung mga pwede natin i-trade. Pero yung mga ganito, yung mga bumabagsak yan, avoid tayo sa ganyan. I just want to emphasize that again. But something I also want to emphasize is trend lines are inherently subjective. Right? So, bakit ko lang gusto i-emphasize? Ito, let me give you a story. Ito, let's say, may papangalanan tayong trader, si Borgie. Si Borgie, nag-plot ng trend line. Bumili siya dito. Sa third test, yan, di ba? 1, 2, ito na yung legit. Nag-bounce, solid. Pero bumagsak ulit below the trend line. So, dapat, dapat mag-cut loss. Dapat i-manage yung risk. Di ba? Basic lang yung cut loss, guys. Dapat alaman natin yan. If hindi pa natin alam, kailangan alamin natin. Kasi yung risk management modules na i-discuss natin at the future lesson, mas advanced na yun. So, if we look at the chart, kaya as you can see, dapat nag-cut na siya dito. Pero, ito na yung ginawa ni Borgie. In-adjust niya yung trend line. Ano ginawa niya? Tingnan niyo yung plotting niya, pinlat niya dito, tapos pinlat niya sa body lang. Hindi niya kinonsider yung wick. Ano ginawa niya? In-extend niya sa wick. So sabi niya, ay teka, di ko pala pinlat yung sa wick. Extend ko na lang. Tapos yun, sakto, nag-bounce. So baka ito nga yung tamang trend line, sabi ni Borgie. Pero ano nangyari after a few days? Wala, nag-breakdown na naman. So dapat nag-cut na, in-adjust na nga niya eh. Pero yung mga katulad talaga ni Borgie, lagi naghahanap ng ways para magicin eh. So, ano pa magagawa niya sa ganitong chart? Paano niya mamagicin? Basic lang, zoom out pa niya. Ay, ito, pwede ko pala ito. Bigger picture, ano to? Yan, ito yung trend line natin. Wala. Eventually, nag-breakdown din. And then after that, what happened? If di po siya nag-cut doon, nag-market crash na. So, imagine if he just followed. And guys, all these 3 trend lines are legit ha. Ito, and ito. But the problem comes when you don't follow your plan, and that's the reason you adjust your trend line. So if ito yung unang plan mo, 'di ba? And kailangan mag-cut loss ka na. Hindi pwedeng adjust mo. 'Di ba? Lalo na to. Hindi mo pwede yung ito unang plan mo. Sige, ito yung unang trend line na pinlat mo. Sige, bindili mo diyan. Nag-breakdown. Dapat cut ka na. Right? Dapat di mo na i-adjust ng ganyan kasi pwede ma-GG ka eh. So if you followed your initial plan na mag-cut dito, 'di ba? Parang may lesson mo sana yung downside. Kasi kapag dito ka pa nag-cut, kaka-adjust mo, 20% na yung dumagdag sa loss mo. Even worse, pag hinawakan mo lang, lalo bumagsak. So, inherently, trend lines are subjective, especially if you don't follow your plan. But, if you follow your plan naman, okay naman, di ba? But, no trend lines are perfect. Everyone can have their own trend line. Dapat flat sa week, dapat body lang, dapat long term, dapat medium term. So, it really depends, right? But, yun lang, just a hint of caution. And reminder, let's follow our initial plan. If ito yung initial trend line na pinlat mo, cut mo is below the trend line, sundan natin yun. Now, the question is, now, what if it breaks? So, di-discuss ko na parang ito, sa support level, yan, magbabounce dyan, sa resistance, mauuntog dyan, buy on resistance, buy on support, sell on resistance. Parang ang boring naman ng trading, yung napakadali. Kapag buy on support, sell on resistance ang ginagawa mo. But actually, hindi lang siya ganun. Pwede rin siya mabasag. So now the question is, what if it breaks? Yan na yung tinatawag natin, the breakouts and breakdowns. So before I move on, please excuse me, 5 seconds, water break. Alright, let's go. Now first, I want to focus on breakout. So a breakout is when prices finally break the resistance level because sobrang lakas ng buyers. Kasi remember, resistance, maraming sellers dyan. But in this case, for some reason, napakaraming buyers na pumasok sa market and pushed prices higher above resistance, overwhelming the sellers. And so as you can see here, yung 1.46 na area, 1.5, nauntog dito kasi malakas yung resistance. Second time nauntog, but for the third time, it finally broke out and made a big move on the upside. So actually ako personally, especially when I was starting out, I would rather prefer trading breakouts than buying on support. Bakit? Because a breakout is actually a beginning of a new uptrend. And as we know, in uptrends, doon natin gusto mag-participate. Kita nyo man dito from sideways, naging uptrend after ng breakout ba. So, yun nga, prices go up in uptrends and doon natin gusto mag-participate. Kaya noong una, gusto ko talaga breakouts. I'm not saying na wag tayo bumili sa support but personally lang, sabi ko, kung gusto kong turo sa book uptrend, edi dapat doon ako sa breakout kasi yun yung start ng new uptrend. Right? That's just my logic when I was starting out. Right? Tapos, yung maganda kasi yun sa breakout is, a breakout can lead to a big move in a short period of time. Meaning, pwede magka-big move on the upside in a short period of time, right? Pinakita ko sa kanina, like, si dito, right? Ang laki ng 100%, 7 days. Parang yung mga ganun na place. Si Nickel, last year, 90+%, 3 to 4 days. So, ganun na move. So, even tong example, si Meg, from 146, nag 2 pesos in a very short period of time, a couple of weeks or maybe a month. Diba? And ito kasi yun yung downside of simply buying on support, selling on resistance is yung time factor. You don't know kailan, if nabili mo nga support, di nga bumagsak. But the question is, how long will it take until it reaches resistance para mabenta mo? It may take a day, it may take 5 days, a week, a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, we don't know. But sa breakout, may chance. Of course, not all breakouts work. Pwede yang mag-breakout, tas bumagsak ulit. But there's a chance to have a big move in a short period of time. Here's another example. We have Double Dragon coming from a sideways trend. We have a breakout and then it went up 65% in about a month or two, right? 4 to 8 weeks. And then again, we have a good example. We have ito, right? For example, imagine mo, bumalik ka sa support kayo now sa yellow na area dito, right? It took you about 2 months, di ba, bagong mabenta sa resistance if you're simply doing the buy on support, sell on resistance thing. But now, as you can see, dito sa breakout, it made a 195% move in less than a month. So, yan yung power ng breakouts. Again, it's a start of a new uptrend and a big move can happen in a very short period of time. You can make the most amount of money in the least amount of time, especially if we're in a bull market. Ito, here's a personal example. Wait, teka. So, I traded this when I was just starting out. And then, nabasa ko sa trade. So, guys, for those who don't know, want to learn more about technical analysis sa mga newbies pa, we recommend The Trading Code by Jason Cam na bibili, I believe, sa Shopee and Lazada National Bookstore. So, very solid book. Philippine setting din. Philippine author, I believe. Basta yung examples, Philippine stock. So, very relatable. Sabi daw, bilhin sa breakout. Right? So, sabi ko, okay, try ko maghanap kung saan ako pwede, try ko maghanap ng breakout play. Nakita ko to sa ATN, diba? Nagko-consolidate, nag-form ng base. Nakita ko mahaba yung consolidation and natutunan ko is the longer the consolidation, the higher the bigger the potential breakout. Or the larger the base, the higher in space. So, pinlat ko lang, ito yung support ko, pero ayoko bumili dyan. Gusto ko sa breakout. Gusto ko big move, short period of time. Kasi ito yung resistance, 0.75. So, ano ginawa ko? Inantay ko lang mabasag. Ganito. Nag-breakout na. And then, boom, biglang lang 100% in a few days. Sabi ko, wow! Genius ako ha! Tapos, after that, sabi ko, ito lang pala yun, bibiling ko na yung breakout, double your money. Then, after that, yan na Superman syndrome tayo. And then, nag-overtrade, lost at least 50% of the profits I made here. Or something like that. Basta, yun, nakakatuwa lang na, parang na-experience ko na kaagad yung power ng breakout first few weeks ko pa lang sa market. But anyway, so yan yung power ng breakout. So, kaya rin ako siguro nag-side towards the trading breakouts early in my career. Right? Here's another example. Again, ditto, same thing. I just want to show Longer the consolidation, the bigger the potential breakout. And then ito, nauntog, but here finally it broke out and it went up 100+% in about a week. And here we have Tesla. So this concept, of course, also applies not only to the Philippine market but also to global markets, to US stock market. So si Tesla, ito lang guys, gusto ko i-point out ha. There's also some people obviously who have a hard time buying on breakouts. Bakit? Because they say na, mahal na yung presyo, sana sa support na lang bumili, umakyat na siya ng, for example, si Tesla, nag-400, nag-800, nag-1,000, umakyat na 100% nung 800, tas nag-1,000 pa, 120% na inangat, expensive na, di ba? So, pass na siguro ako dyan. At the same time, marami rin nagsasabi na si Tesla overvalued, ganyan, blah, blah, blah. But what happened? Diba? After it broke out of this resistance, right? Yung 1,000, again guys, note, whole number resistance yan. So, very significant na nabasag yan. But people kept saying na overvalued na siya, na si Elon Musk nung 800 level siya na mismo magsabi na overvalued. Now, what happened after this? It went up all the way to above 2,000. It went up 100% pa from that point. So, yan, nag-break out, big move, short period of time, nag-consolidate, nag-form ng sideways range, nagka-support level, nagka-resistance level, nag-break out ulit, but more or less from this level where everyone was saying na it's too high, it's too expensive, it went up another 110%. And so what am I implying here? I believe the person who said this quote was William O'Neill. At sabi ni William O'Neill, some people kasi like to buy cheap stocks, diba? And there's nothing wrong with that. Yung mga bargain na place, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But some people just do it because, dito lang ako sa cheap kasi mas mura eh. But here's the thing, right? Sabi ni William O'Neill, what's cheap tends to get cheaper. Yung mga downtrending stocks, diba nakita yun, na akala nyo mura, tapos bumabagsak pa. While at the same time, what's expensive tends to get much more expensive. Like si Tesla. If you thought Tesla was overvalued at $1,000 per share, paano pa kaya sa $2,000? But the market, diba, if there's enough demand to push prices higher, makikinig sa mga valuations. Demand and supply concepts will still be king. Price is still king. Diba? Kung tatagalugin ko yung sinabi ni William O'Neill, kung siya nga nagsabi yun, please correct me sa comments if I was wrong, but I believe siya nagsabi nun. Kapag mura yung stock, baka mapamura ka ba? While kapag mahal yung stock, baka mahalin mo palalo. So that's why, and another lesson I want to share is the concept of the line of least resistance. Yan yung tinuro ni Jesse Livermore. Sabi niya, he wants to participate in stocks that are breaking the line of least resistance. Kasi dito, si Tesla, wait lang, I want to see the next slides lang. Okay. Dito si Tesla, this is what you call an all-time high breakout. Yung mga significant na breakouts, so pwede malaking move in a short period of time, ay yung mga 52-week high and all-time high breakouts. When you say 52-week high breakouts, that means the price of the stock is at its highest for the past 52 weeks. Significant yun. While all-time high breakouts means that the price of the stock, ever since its IPO, ever since the glacial stock market, it's now at its highest price ever in history. That means wala nang resistance, wala nang, diba? I mean, siyempre may sellers, pero mas marami na yung buyers, right? So, very significant. Kasi Tesla, nagka-big move after that. Diba? So, yun. So, yeah. Yun yung power of breakouts. But of course, again, hindi lang siya puro horizontal breakouts lang. We also have what we call yung mga downtrend line breakouts. Hindi lang naman lagi mauuntog sa downtrend eh. Sa downtrend line, yung mga downtrending stocks, pwede rin magka-downtrend line breakout. But something I want to emphasize lang before we move forward with the examples is yung potential upside sa mga downtrend line breakouts, it's not as big as yung mga 52-week high and all-time high breakouts. Bakit? It's because we're coming essentially from a downtrend and maraming levels of resistance sa kailangan pa basagin yung stock. And without, number one, a catalyst or a good market environment, mahirap yung breakout downtrend line tas 200% active in a short period of time. Hindi lang basta-basta mangyayari yun. Pwede siyang maging sign of reversal, but yung mga reversals, hindi lang niya smooth na from downtrend biglang uptrend. Pwede yung downtrend, mag-breakout, tas mag-pullback na malalim, tas tumuloy. So, it's much, so dapat pag downtrend line breakout, we need to learn how to sell at resistance or to just wag tayo yung ito, break na yung downtrend line, mag-uptrend na yan. Hindi siya ganun kadali. But here, to give an example, we have web, di ba? So, downtrend line, ito yung first untog, ito yung second untog, tapos dito, yan, nagka-breakout na. Diba? And this is also a personal trade of mine. I forgot to mention. So I bought it here at the breakout and I believe I sold a portion at 380 and a portion at 4 pesos. Bakit? 380 resistance kasi. Kasi again, alam ko, downtrend yung stock. And then, I also know na 4 pesos, psychological level yan. So, maganda din magbenta doon. And then, as we can see, umakyat pa siya, nag-overshoot siya, 4.4. Umakyat siya 40%. I sold a little too early, but at the end of the day, I followed my plan. And I knew na baka hindi ganun kataas yung upside. Especially, I didn't really know the catalyst. And the market was good, but it wasn't really in a bull market. It was just in a recovering sideways market. So, yun. And then after this, nag-fade na siya, bumagsak na. And now, I think nasa 1 point something pesos or 2 pesos. I'm not sure. Pero yun. Here, we have another example. And yung maganda pala, if we buy yung mga downtrending stocks. Kasi if you just simply buy on the break of yung mga horizontal resistances, pwedeng, minsan, okay na naman bumili doon. Pero minsan, kapag downtrending, kapag bumili ka sa downtrend line breakout, parang napapaaga ka minsan. Pero kung tama naman yung breakout na yun, yung play na yun, tumuloy, it's an advantage you're in a little earlier. And here, we can see MRC, diba? When it broke the downtrend line, prior to breaking the actual horizontal resistance, right? Up ka na 14% kaagad if nakabili ka dito. So, yun lang. Just another example. And then here, we have APX, a very recent example. Again, downtrend line here. Nauntog dito. Then finally, here, it broke out. Namigay na retest. And then, went up 75%. So, the reason this went up that big is because of the catalyst of the increasing price of gold. So, related kasi to sa nag-benefit siya pag umakit yung prices ng gold. And then here guys, again, I just want to note, not all downtrend lines will yield returns like APX, diba? Again, we need a catalyst. And si APX, si MRC may catalyst yan, yung third telco ata. Si APX may catalyst yan, yung gold. Ito si SSI, wala naman atang catalyst to at this time. As you can see, na-break nga niya yung downtrend line, but 13% lang yung inangat. So we have to know, pwede naman na mataas yung aim natin 20, 30, 40, 50%. If, of course, may valid reason, may fundamental reason, may catalyst tayo, good earnings, pwede rin. But if talagang technical trade, tas pangit yung market, tapos wala namang catalyst, we might want to, swerte na tayo, okay na to, 13% to 20, 10 to 20%, solid na yun. And now, of course, I talked about yung mga breakouts. Of course, kung yung resistance kaya mabasag, yung mga support levels kaya din mabasag. And that's what we call breakdown. So wait lang, inom lang tubig. So now when we talk about breakouts, it's really just the opposite of a breakout. If a breakout is when buyers exceed yung mga sellers to break prices above resistance, to begin a new uptrend, to try and make a big move in a short period of time. Opposite naman nun yung breakdown. Sa breakdown, now overwhelmed na mga sellers yung buyers, prices break below support, and it's potentially a beginning of a new downtrend. And potentially, there may be a big move to the downside in a short period of time. Baliktad nga naman, right? So guys, basic lang, if we see a stock breaking down, na sa watch list natin, we might want to avoid it na, diba? Na parang word of caution na baka nga magka-downtrend na. And at the same time, if we have a stock in our portfolios that, let's say, we bought at support and then nag-breakdown, we might want to cut our losses to protect our capital, diba? So kapag breakdown, more likely than not, pass tayo dyan, diba? So again, we have an example here. We have wholesale. It had a support area right here at 1350. Diba? Support, and then nag-breakdown. Right? And then after that breakdown, it began, diba? Nag-bounce siya, but bigger picture, it went down 66.89% from that breakdown point. So nagka-big move to the downside in a short period of time. Nag-start siya ng bagong downtrend. From an uptrend to sideways, then downtrend. Here we have another example ito. Here we have X. Diba? And I just want to emphasize what I said a while ago by what's cheap can get cheaper, and kung ano man yung, kung may stock kang gusto na mura, baka mapamura ka pa. So X from 20 pesos or near 20 pesos went down all the way to 3 pesos. So usually sa mga ganito, yung mga iba nagsasabi na, ay undervalued na pare. To, mura na to. Isipin mo, from 20 nag-3. Imposible naman sigurong bumagsak pa to. Diba? And dyan sila nagkakamali. Yung imposible. Nothing is impossible in the market. Right? And some of us may already know what happened to X after. So, kasi sabi nila, ito yan, nagsa-sideways na. Pag zoom in natin, may support yan dito. So again, let's zoom in again. So So we found support levels here, and then what happened? Nag-breakdown. Diba? So if you bought here, you might want it to sell at this level. Bakit? Because after that breakdown, nag-continue lang yung downtrend. Again, yung mga stock na mura, baka mapamura ka pa. If bibilin mo lang siya na walang risk management, okay lang bumili guys ng undervalued. I'm not saying na wag tayo bumili ng undervalued stocks na undervalued stocks na malaki naman yung growth rate, good earnings, na talagang hindi lang na-appreciate pa rin ng institutional players. But if mali tayo, if yung bias natin hindi nasundan ng price, right? If the stock breaks down, we have to protect our capital pa rin even if valid yung fundamental reason natin. As you can see here, nag-breakdown and from 3 pesos, nag-0.48, naging penny stock pa. Down 85% from that level. At the same time, hindi lang siya ulit puro horizontal levels of support. Meron din yung mga uptrend lines as shown sa ACX sa Ayala Corp example a while ago. Meron din mga uptrend line breakdowns. So as you can see here, found support here, here, and here, but eventually it broke down. And if you didn't cut your losses here, right, this big move, you would have wanted to cut your losses kasi it went down 11% in a day. At the same time, sure, from 16 nag 17.10, bumawi, but it was just really delaying the inevitable kasi nagka-market crash na after a few days. It went down all the way to, I believe, 12. Here's another example. We have Jollibee, right? So we have, again, a long-term trend line from 2017 all the way to 2019. First point, second point, ito na yung legit buy natin. But the problem was, yung nga, nag-bounce but nag-breakdown. I believe, sakto nga, I believe this was, ito ba yung pinurchase sila yung coffee bean and tea leaf? I don't remember, but anyway, as you can see, even if you bought it here, nag-breakdown, you would have wanted to cut your losses there. So as you already know, Jollibee from 280, hindi na nag-revisit yan dyan. Bumagsak na yan all the way to 100 or a little bit below 100 in the 2020 market crash. Now, the next thing I want to discuss is, and let me just drink, wait lang. Now, the next thing I want to discuss is the concept of role reversals or yung SNR flip. So, di ko na bibigyan ng textbook definition. Let me give you an example. When we say role reversal or SNR flip, it's when, example na lang. As you can see here, what happened dito? Naka-highlight na dyan. An old resistance turned into a new support level. So, ganyan. So, as you can see here, di ba, nag-bounce yung PSCI, nag-conso. Yung 5.8, 5.7 to 5.8, it was a very strong resistance level. But eventually, it broke out. Right? And then, yun nga, nag-conso yung market, nag-breakdown, and then where was it able to find support? It was able to find support at its old resistance level, di ba? Dito, dyan siya nag-bounce. Kasi nagka-role reversal. Yung dating resistance, naging bagong support. Pwede rin vice versa, which I'll show later. Yung dating support, naging bagong resistance. But in this example, as you can see, yung old resistance acted as a new support level. Nagka-SNR flip. Support resistance flip. Nagka-role reversal. I'll give you more examples. Here, ito naman, yung mga, ito yung maganda sa role reversals eh. This doesn't happen all the time, but it's a golden opportunity, especially if you miss the initial breakout. Ito yung ATN example ko a while ago. Luckily ako, I was able to buy at the breakout. And again, guys, breakouts in good markets may lead to a big move in a short period of time. So, minsan, di ito mangyayari. But, as you can see, kay ATN, swerte nangyari siya. Nag-retest, kumbaga, nag-pull back to the breakout point. This is a normal action. When a stock breaks out, pwede yan hindi tumuloy eh. Pwede yan breakout. Diba, ito yung resistance. Sana clean visual. No? Kasi nag-breakout siya, pero nag-retest, bale nag-pull back, tinest ulit yung dating resistance. Kasi nagka-SNR flip. The old resistance should act as a new support kung malakas talaga yung stock. So, breakout, retest, and then tutuloy. So, if you miss the breakout, the golden opportunity to try and get into the stock is at the retest. So, luckily si ATN nagkaroon ng mini retest. Yan, very short-term retest. Tapos, boom, tumuloy na. So, again, old resistance, turn new support. Here's another example. Pwede rin siyang gamitin pang ultimate bounce plays. Di ba? Pang mga one-day reversal or good, basta bounce plays. As you can see here, ito guys, this was a 39% bounce. If nasalo mo sa low nung day na yun, binenta mo sa closing, 39%. And guys, walang magic to. Wala akong magic indicator, wala akong magic setup. Literal, horizontal line lang ginamit ko. Pinilat ko lang, saan ba yung dating resistance? Ay, ito. Baka dito pwede mag-bounce. Then, boom! Doon nga siya nag-bounce. Eksakto. Walang Fibonacci, walang multiple hourly bullish divergence, walang walang MA bounce, well, of course, all of those things, nakakatulong yun But I'm just saying, diba, na pwede rin natin simplehin. Hindi naman natin kailangan sobrang daming indicator. As simple as this, or pwede yun nga, may Fibonacci ka, pwede, or pwede tas may confluence sa moving average. Walang problema doon. But I'm just showing na pwede rin natin simplehin as simple as this. Right? A 39% bounce by simply knowing the concept of SNR flip. Ito, a personal example, Holcim Philippines. Right, so I saw Holcim consolidating and I wanted to buy it. But the problem was when it broke out, nasa klase ako, nag-e-exam ata kami or something, or nag-group work. And yun, na-battery pa ako nag-breakout. But I didn't want to chase the price. Ayoko ma-FOMO I wanted to buy it at 10 pesos. So if I missed out, so be it. I'll just wait for a better entry, another consolidation pattern, hopefully. But luckily, sinuwerte ako, namigay siya na retest, and I was able to buy it at this candle at 10 pesos. And then after that, the rest is history. After that retest, tumuloy na siya, nag-breakout siya dito, then umakyat siya 59% in around 3 weeks. So, yun. Again, SNR flip. Now, ano yun? Anyway, now let's talk about yung baliktad naman ng old support level turned into a new resistance level. So, as you can see here, I'll use Holcim as another example again, as the same example. Diba, nag-conso dito, we found support at 1350. Then once it broke down, malakas na bounce. Pero saan siya nauntog? Nauntog siya sa dating support level. Again, nagka-SNR flip. So yung ngayon naman, nag-breakdown, tas ni-retest yung support level before making another downtrend. Kabaliktaran lang nung kanina. So yan, old support rather, turn new resistance. Here's another example. We have TUGS. Again, dating support level, diba? But once it broke down, it tried to, diba, bumawi, pero nauntog, bumagsak, then yan, medyo nag-rally, pero saan siya nauntog? Dun ulit sa dating support level. SNR flip. So this is also why, guys, it pays to, wag tayo masyado naka-zoom in sa last 10 candles. It also pays to zoom out and to look at the prior structures. Kasi here, we have it again. IRC, dating support sa 2 pesos, psychological and structural, dating support, dyan nagbabounce, and then it broke down. And then twice, it tried to break above that level again. But again, it's now acting as its new resistance. So again, nauntog dito, then nauntog dito. But of course, guys, pwede rin siya tumuloy, no? Pwede siya mag-re-breakout. Pero, and the examples I'm showing you guys na yun nga, yung old resistance, pwede siya maging bagong support level. And then yung old support levels, pwede siya maging new resistance levels. So, yun guys, that's a wrap. That's it for Class 3, Lesson 1, Basic Technical Analysis. So, I just want to do a quick recap before I let you guys go. What did we learn today? From Ma'am Joanne, we learned what is technical analysis, which is the study of price and volume behavior to make better investment decisions. Naks, memorize yung definition. And then we learned about candlesticks and how they make our lives much easier and how to understand them. We learned about the types of trends available in the marketplace, uptrends, downtrends, sideways trends, and where we want to participate in, which is uptrends. And then we want to avoid downtrends, and then yung mga sideways trends, gusto natin bantayan. Right? And then we learned about support and resistance, or yung price structure or price action kung tawagin. And we learned that it's really the foundational piece of knowledge we need to know. Dapat di natin siya take for granted because all systems will eventually, even the systems we're going to be teaching in class 6 will all revolve around this concept. And we learned it's not all horizontal lines, meron din yung mga diagonal in the form of trend lines. We learned that trend lines can be subjective, and to be objective about it, we need to follow our initial trend lines sa plan natin. Di tayo pwede katulad ng example trader si Borgie na ina-adjust para lang masabing support level, di pa nag-breakdown, di ba? Then we learned about breakouts and breakdowns. How breakouts, we want to participate in this, especially in good markets, because it's a beginning of a new uptrend, and a big move can happen in a short period of time if, again, we're in a good market and may catalyst yung stock. And we learned about breakdowns, how if a stock in our watch list breaks down, we might want to avoid it. And then if we have a stock in our portfolio that breaks down of any support level of, the key support levels, we might want to cut our losses to protect our capital. Finally, we learned about role reversal. Right? Na yung dating support pwede maging bagong resistance, yung dating resistance pwede maging bagong support. Diba? So, yun lang guys. Tama, yun na yung last slide. Yeah. So, hopefully, right, if this provided value to you guys, please share it with your friends. Invite people to join InvestaUniversity so we really want to impact the lives and reach the lives of many Filipinos as we can, whether bata ka pa, teenager, adult, or mas matanda na, retiree. We really want to impact the lives of anyone who wants to learn. And to, increase alam niyo naman, vision namin sa Investa to impact the lives of 10 million Filipinos. Right? So, yun lang naman. And, you know, if you're watching this, you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe, like the video, and guys, may replay to. If you missed out, there's gonna be a replay. As always, it's gonna be forever posted on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. So if di nyo pa na like and follow, please like and follow and share it. And on investalearn.com. Right? So yun lang guys. Hopefully, right, sa mga newbies dyan, I was able to give a good intro. Me and Ma'am Joanne and I were able to give a good intro for you guys. And mas na-gets nyo, right, yung technical analysis, yung basics, and tapos sa mga medyo na sa market, mga 3 months, 6 months, ganun, pinanood ito, hopefully it provided a good refresher course, and maybe hopefully I was able to add more value to you guys, maybe something you didn't know na nakatulong today. So yun lang guys, we'll be posting a homework in the investor group. Please share your key insights in our group sa discussion tab natin. And yun, siguro magkaka-homework din. Yun lang guys. And kita-kits tayo sa susunod na lesson and sa live discussion this coming weekend. Bye-bye.
InvestaUniversity is an open U for you. Kaya, we made the enrollment super easy. Bilang ka lang ng 1, 2, 3. 1. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. All InvestaU videos will be uploaded here and also in InvestaLearn. 2. Like and follow our Facebook account. 3. Join our exclusive Investa group. I-search mo lang ang InvestaUniversity group in our platform. Then click Join. Read our short love letter for you and click Agree. Ngayon, estudyante ka na ng InvestaU. Ganun lang. Super dali.